is a ghost. We caught a ghost on camera. How you doing?
I feel like I need to like double over and paint.
You do? Like energy? I wonder if they're trying to send a message through you or something.
Right. Like I want to ask
People ask,
until tomorrow.
well, how do you know what you're doing?
All I know is you get near the stairs, it's a whole nother thing.
Oh, am I getting near the stairs?
It's like you cross right there is the threshold, like when you walk through that door. It's like wham, hit you.
Down this hallway. So when I was standing out there looking down this hallway, there was a lady right here with a fan, like mostly naked, feather boa, pearls, leaning and just kind of like watching and waiting, sort of thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, and then I'm picking up a male energy in that room.
Well, that's not great up there.
Huh?
That is not great up there.
Yeah.
Intake.
Hey, look. You see the fan?
Oh my god.
You didn't even notice that till just now.
Yeah, intake room. The madam would come down to the gentleman.
Yeah. She picked up on a woman with a fan, and then we looked down.
Yeah.
Look down there. There's a fan.
This whole side of my face is just getting like touched.
Something is drawing me to these two chairs. The little rocking chair and that chair with the doll.
You and your dog's in the.
There's something, I don't love dolls.
They were here when I got the place.
Were they?
So I don't know where those came from.
Gotcha. About that wrong.
Garth is about to cry. Oh,
Yeah. And real quick before I
And
forget, I just
wham.
wanna let you know. So
wham.
I don't think you're gonna do any of these things, but I tell everybody this: no drugs or alcohol. I know there's an outlet down there, but
Oh, okay.
there's no power to that clock or anything like that.
Ah,
So if
okay.
that clock starts moving, there's an issue.
Yeah.
Got it.
Oh. Yeah, right here I was discharged.
Well, there was something coming down the stairs. It was like a quick second.
Oh wow, that is cool.
Ooh.
That's really cool.
We could leave that on.
You could. Yeah. You want me to leave it now?
Yeah, yeah. They'll give just enough ambience to.
That's not the original. So I'm not 100% sure when it was replaced, but. Oh.
Oh wow. Whoa. The moment I entered this room, something seemed to hit me in the stomach, and you can hear me react in
I'm gonna
pain.
replace a door here. Actually, I'm not even sure a door used to be here.
Ah,
You okay? Good?
I'm good. Yep.
Let's walk down this way. I want to see how you guys feel about here. Yeah, the rest of the house.
You've seen things on the stairs.
Rooms up here. Who were you talking about?
Anybody?
Why are they always blue? Is that,
Hey, that was like a neon orange
oh no, I get it.
in 2017.
Oh man, why do I get the feeling somebody fell out a window? There wasn't ever any, well, I'll ask in the morning if anybody ever fell out a window or fell.
Not to ask.
I know.
I will say this is my favorite. I will say that. It's my go-to. So this is my go-to.
Gareth, you can stay in this room.
What do you guys like?
I can do this one.
I don't know yet. I don't know which one yet.
Well, there's a double bed.
Yeah.
I'm just getting that. Somebody fell.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay. I won't say anything to them, but yeah, makes sense now. Let's talk about it. Makes perfect sense.
It was actually a shower that somebody, one of the previous owners had put in here, it leaked, that's what the whole ceiling down. So we took it
Yeah,
out
easy.
and fixed all this wall. This wall.
Might have just been because of the floor.
So this was,
Funny.
this used to be one of these big old rooms, like that back
Okay.
down here. So that would have been,
This is open room.
Maybe the one when I got fall, maybe somebody fell down the stairs.
It would be very easy to do. It would be very easy to fall on the stairs.
started to take the, when we started working on the porch, the front post.
You okay, hon?
Was they had the post, but then they had added wood toward the bottom, maybe about this high down. They had added wood, like to make it more decorative. And then they came off. Yeah, we were about that far.
So maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, they probably have wood blocks that, you know, like a wood square, it's supposed to be cement where you would think you'd use cement, but they like, when they built the house, cement was expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when they took that off, I was like, oh my God, I knew it was bad, but I didn't know it was that bad. So.
That was drew me in when I pulled up. These three rooms. There is a door here. There's no door there.
Yeah. I'm gonna go set up cameras upstairs, and then if Jen, did you want to go grab your music box? Oh, that thing's going off again. This place is active.
It is.
Okay. Okay. Power source. Here. You want to be careful because I'm going to set this camera back here as far as I can. Just have to make sure we're careful not to trip on it. You know what I should do? Actually, once I get these set up, set that music box right up on this table here. So if there's like stuff going on and it goes off when we're all downstairs, and we're like, okay, it's time to go upstairs for a little bit and investigate.
Yeah.
There we go. I will probably have. Which room do you think is the most active? I think room 7 is. That's the one I got. This room doesn't like me.
I don't like this room.
Does it sound like a... Did you hear anything just now?
I heard a creak.
Okay. But if I could put camera from this way going into this way, that'd be cool. I'm gonna set this one up, but I'm gonna set it up out
Which, what?
the obulus.
Oh, okay.
President's bag. Mustard.
Set it down on the dinner table and it said, pass the mustard. I'll set this. Over here. Alright. Got an unlimited energy source right there. Can you touch it and make it do anything? Power bank battery.
That's cool.
Here we go. Leave that there. I heard that. Is that right to turn the light off?
You talking to something else, yeah.
Yeah. I'm a, ooh. There we go.
You're better with those things than I am. The first one's like only a couple minutes, the rest were like 18 minutes long and stuff like that. There's somebody standing right behind me, by the way.
Okay. I got touched in the head earlier, just a few minutes ago when I was back over there. I think a lot of us are going to be getting touched tonight.
I was touched while I was standing over there talking to Crystal, just that you had your hair.
Yeah, my hair's been touched all throughout the time that we've been here.
Have you been touched yet, Beth?
I don't think so.
Have you been touched yet?
Who volunteers to get touched?
I'll be touched.
Oh.
I think the spirits want to. Can you tell me where we're at? What's the name of this place?
You like the money, huh? You want some? Come take it.
We normally write off most orbs as contamination in the form of a bug or dust. But this next orb that comes into this room from right to left and then seems to exit through the wall, leading us to believe that this is definitely residual energy.
Alright, there's a bell in the middle of the table. All you have to do is tap it on the top to respond to our questions. I open this circle to all positive and willing to talk to us. I do not allow any negative energies to enter into the circle. Is there anyone here that was willing to come forth and talk to us tonight?
Bell.
Bell. Not Bell. I got excited.
said Bell.
I got excited.
I did too.
Did you fall from the roof?
Did you fall from the window?
Did you fall down the stairs?
As we begin to introduce ourselves for the seance, I seem to be going into a trance and not even aware of what's going on around me.
We'll introduce ourselves. My name is Garth.
My name is Alex.
My name is Ben.
My name is Beth.
My name is Jen.
We're here to communicate. Nothing's allowed to attach to us, go home with us. We're here to communicate with you in this moment, at this time. Please come forth and talk to us.
Light.
You are lighting it up. How about touching the bell in the middle of the table? Just tap that little thing on top. It'll ring. Just tap it. Good. Touch the bell, not that. Touch the bell. Can you do that? Okay, tap it one more time. Thank you.
Okay, stop tapping it.
Blood.
Please feel free to tap the bell to let us know that you're here. One tap for yes,
Michael.
and use my energy to tap the bell.
Evil.
With the words Michael and evil coming through, we would later that night find out that it would not be the only time that we would encounter the spirit of Michael. Okay. This one has a really high
Alright, I'll be up in a second. I know.
turn on.
I can probably lean it up against something up there too, if that's better. So
Yeah.
that it gets the whole room that way.
Yep.
Okay.
Engage.
Engage. All right, we're working on it.
And then
Do you want to engage in
this
some
was-
naughty stuff?
Start recording.
start
Start
recording.
recording.
All right,
Gotcha.
you're going.
All right.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Let's go engage.
We'll stay down here. While Garth and Alex head upstairs to investigate, the rest of us decided to stay downstairs and break out the dowsing rods. Oh. You want to use the dowsing rods?
Okay. I've never done them before. So how does it, do you just hold on to them?
Yeah, and just kind of hold them out in front of you a little bit and try to keep them as still as possible. And then what I try to do is keep them maybe about this far apart, and then just ask questions, and you can ask them to cross them or open them depending on what you want to ask.
Is there any spirits in this room with us right now? Cross them if yes.
If there's any spirits outside this home that wander, can you cross them?
Anybody else? No, I think it's definitely trying to move now.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Three, or three. Hello,
Can we come in?
thank you. Hi. Okay.
Super kind of stuff. Does anybody want to come in and talk?
Who's the guy that keeps walking down the hallway, by the way? Is his name Henry?
Thanks for crossing those. Can you straighten them back up? If you can hear us and interact with us, open them up as far as they'll go.
It's trying.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
How it works.
Yeah. Really crazy.
I knocked.
Oh, is it raining out there?
It's there's a drizzle, my phone said, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
As Garth and Alex returned back downstairs, it was then our turn to head upstairs and do our own investigation. Upstairs? Just now? Alright, we're gonna walk up there.
The bathroom.
Yep, we're going up there.
Inferior.
Larry, let's go upstairs.
Come on, buddy. Oh, Jesus. That step is gonna take me out one of these days. Oh, man. I feel like this is the first time we've ever, like, really kind of gone almost completely dark.
Okay.
I feel like we need to spend some time in here, too, at some point.
Are you guys comfortable going up the stairs, Dark? Or should we turn on this light at least? I'm comfortable going up there.
At least there's a railing.
Yeah. I can see where I'm going through my little LCD screen.
Yep. I mean, that thing does provide enough. There it goes. Oh, was that the bell? That was the bell. Nobody's down there. I think they're still outside.
This is where we gotta be careful when we come back down though,
Yeah.
so we don't fall down the stairs.
Yep. Alright, where are we hanging out? Which room?
Let's go this way.
Where is your music box, Jen?
It's right over.
Could this
here
EVP be that of a madam or mistress of the brothel era when it was a hotel?
Did you just say something?
No.
Don't walk over there.
You never know. I also thought it didn't have beads earlier, and it did.
You make your rocking horse move?
We're not talking to you on the damn bell downstairs anymore.
What I would have wanted to say for a long time is, I wanted to speak up loud enough for all the spirits in the house. If there are any spirits at all in this house, can you make a noise so we know that you can hear us?
That's just Garth, I think.
It is. If there are any people up here in this upper floor with us, can you knock on something for us to let us know that you're up here? I know we spent a good time downstairs.
My stomach.
Oh. We have several cameras in this building. Can you make a noise, speak into one of the cameras to let us know that you're here and willing to communicate? Are you okay with the fact that we're going to sleep up here tonight? With no further response, we decided to head back downstairs to meet back up with Garth and Alex. And about 10 minutes after we did, our security camera picked up a mist that seemed to manifest by the bedpost in room 8.
It's too bad you can't do a duo live like you can on like TikTok and Instagram and stuff, because then they can see you asking questions and him answering at the same time.
Oh my gosh, I'm picking up so much, like all the sounds from the other room,
Yeah.
like bad.
Oh, it's like it could be the live open.
Is it? Can you see anything?
It's a little dark, but it's decent. Okay.
Alright, let's get this. Alright. Thank you for hearing the white noise of the box.
Just something like this. Can everybody hear?
Yeah.
Read
the comments too.
Yeah. Just 2 people so far said hi. All right. Ring. All right, if there are any spirits here who wish to communicate with us, our buddy Garth is over in the main area. We ask that you go to him to answer our questions. He has a device in his hand that you are able to speak through.
After capturing this very compelling footage of a spirit manifesting in the room, I decided to send this footage on over to the homeowner, Crystal, for her review. She then sent to me a photograph, which you can see here, of a figurine on top of a table, thus debunking this claim of a ghost in the room. This is why I feel it's very important to share with the homeowner all your paranormal findings. That way we can investigate further into what's paranormal and what's a natural object in the home. You can really tell how excited I was to have captured this spirit on our camera and this audio response from the recording of my video analysis. Oh my god, that is a ghost! We caught a ghost on camera!
Alright, let's do this. Go flat. Alright, great, whatever it is. We're here to communicate with you. Use my energy to communicate with us. Just touch one of these devices, please. Oh, the angry man's in here.
Who is?
The angry man.
Cross them for yes.
We decided to go into the dining room to pick up our investigation. And that's when the spirit of Michael decided to start talking and channeling through our medium, Garth.
Are you a resident of this home?
No.
Yeah, not believing you, buddy. Don't come back up. This isn't gonna work if you're not gonna tell the truth. Uh-huh. Open.
No.
Okay, then we're not talking through that. We're gonna have to make one of the other devices work.
Whatever.
Nobody's forcing you to talk to.
You are. He's just looking at you, Ben.
I see that.
This just went off over here.
Not gonna happen. This is funny. What are these lights?
They are EMF readers, so you can get close and use it to communicate with us.
The hell is that?
Electromagnetic field.
It's energy, but we are made up of both human and spirit.
Uh-huh. No, I did not offer a channel, you did. I don't care.
A channel?
Who is this guy?
Which one?
What I'm sitting with?
Let's start.
How can he hear me?
Certain people are able to.
I don't believe it.
What's happening, isn't it?
You say so.
You want to introduce yourself?
Not really.
Fair enough. And do you want to?
Michael,
Michael. Oh, you're back, huh?
is that a problem?
No. Not unless you want it to be.
No problem.
Okay. We can practice that.
Can we ask you questions?
Go for it.
Were you born and raised in Indiana?
No.
What brought you to
Chicago.
Chicago? What brought you all the way here?
Money.
How'd you do that?
None of your business.
Okay. Am I picking up on some bootlegging?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Do some of these women work for you?
What are you talking about?
Ah.
Any other questions?
You don't seem really keen to answer them.
Ask away.
Did you die in here?
No,
Is that a sore subject?
no.
Do you want to tell us about how you died?
Hurt?
Was it an accident sort of thing?
No.
Oh, okay.
Sickness?
Pain?
Did somebody hurt you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Was it an injury sort of deal?
Mental pain?
He's blocking right now. Answer. He said, you answer him. That's my question.
If it's a sore subject or something you don't want to talk about, you can just say so.
I died, okay?
Yeah. I feel like that's pretty obvious, but
Good.
I'm sure we're not the first people to ask you questions.
Hell no.
what's the year for you?
64.
Okay.
38.
You're 38?
Yes.
I'm 30, a little behind you.
Do you know what year it is right now?
Blue. Huh? Dude, really? Come on. Just answer the question that he's just feeding me words to see if all you're saying.
Are you a bit skeptical about this?
Of course I am.
You're no nonsense man from Chicago, right?
Well, of course.
You believe in technology though, right?
What are you talking about?
Well, let me put it to you this way.
No.
100 years before you were around, there were not cars. People probably would have thought cars were
Trading cars?
source of trade, or automobiles.
Huh?
Is it 1964 or 1864?
Oh, we're before this turn. Before the turn.
Before the turn of the century.
Yeah.
Okay. So 1864.
Yes.
Thank you. All right.
Okay, apologize.
We were thinking.
I was 38 when I was here. I was born in 1864.
Okay. So we're supposed to do the math. I really stinking math
It's okay. How can he hear me?
now. Garth is channeling you.
Huh?
So he's acting as a conduit right now for your spirit, thoughts, energy.
Okay.
And he's acting almost as a translator.
Not everyone,
That's weird.
It is a little strange.
not everyone can do what you can do.
What do you mean?
I cannot do what Garth does.
Sure he can. Just talking to you.
Well, for us, it is the year 2025.
What?
I know. So
It's
you
noisy outside.
It's noisy outside. What's going on outside that you're not here, that we're not hearing? So we just hear rain.
People everywhere.
See, what time of day is it for you?
Like 4 o'clock.
PM?
Afternoon.
Gotcha. Okay.
People going up and down the street. Wish they'd mind their damn business.
Have people been looking in on you?
Nobody's looking at it. Then walk by.
It's a big house.
Yeah, it is.
I'm very curious about what goes on in there, because not everybody lives like this.
None of their business.
It's not.
See? Told you.
So if you're from Chicago, Are you Italian?
No,
Are you Irish?
answer lady. I'm not Irish.
Polish?
Maybe. Correct, dude. Listen, answer people.
Do you want to
Shut up, dude. I love when I have conversations I don't have. This sucks. That's me, by the way. This is fun. Ask another question.
Do you want to tell us what your nationality is then?
Polish.
Polish, gotcha. Well, my maiden name is Kraszewski.
Oh,
Yeah. And my forefather was a bastard child who...
poor bastard.
Poor bastard. He was born in Hamtramck.
Where?
Hamtramck, Michigan.
Ain't never been there.
Yeah, lots of Polish people there. You might like it. He gets a good kielbasa. And...
It's not like Chicago.
No, like Chicago, probably. Fair enough.
Meat markets everywhere.
Yeah, we don't have much of those anymore.
What?
Big superstores where they sell everything from soap to meat to clothing, all in
What
one
banal
place.
shit is this?
It's a monopoly. Think Carnegie, only for all
Dale?
things. I believe it was Andrew.
Andrew,
Think monopoly like that, but for goods.
are you using my own brain against me, dude? A little. Shut up, dude. Rockefellers,
Yeah, yes, kind of like that. There's a family, like,
Vanderbilts.
yeah, there's a family that created a store called Walmart, and they're kind of similar to that.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's way after your time, my friend. Let's see. You're a man from, Polish man from Chicago. What's your favorite drink?
Scotch.
Scotch. Let's see. Scotch from what region?
I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
Scotch.
Scotch. Gotcha.
Yes, I am.
Things are telling the truth.
Whatever.
You probably have plenty of people to flirt with here, though.
You would think. Not really, though.
Not a whole lot of action from you later.
What do you mean?
When this is a family home, there was a very devastating stillbirth that took place. And it was their first daughter. She delivered the baby around 23 weeks. Little boy. And she held on for a while. And they couldn't figure it out. She started to run hot. She started to bleed. And then eventually she also passed after about a week of fighting off an infection. I believe it's Amelia. Her husband was on the town council or some sort of board and he actually met her because she was walking down the street towards town hall at one point. And they struck up a conversation, and luckily her dad also knew him, so he was okay with the union. That's the last name. That's where the last name Henry is coming from. It was him, her husband. He was devastated. There's some sort of Catholic Presbyterian issue, and I don't know if it's related to them or if it's just this area. Something to do with the cemeteries in the area and being buried in incorrect places. And that's, I don't know if that's necessarily related to just this house or if it's, again, the area in general. But somebody's not buried in the right place, and that's very, very upsetting. So this is separate from Amelia. There was a maid here when this place was a hotel, and she couldn't afford to have her child buried in the correct place. And she's not willing to let that go. There is some, it's an E name, heavy consonant, what is it? Not Evan. Maybe Emmett or Everett? He's really sick. But he won't. He was taught to work hard, and so he's just going to keep going until he can't. Something with his lungs is going on, and I don't know if it's just severe asthma. It feels more like a terminal illness sort of deal. It says nanny, actually, that's really upset about it because she raised him, and he was a young adult, just wouldn't take care of himself when he needed to. Maybe a farrier is what he was doing, taking care of horses, specifically horseshoes. I don't know why, but I'm hearing the word wicker over and over again. I have no idea what that's connected to. Somebody enjoyed making wicker baskets? That feels a little closer to more modern times, though. I don't think there was an actual suicide here. But somebody really heavily thought about it and spent a lot of time in isolation upstairs. The attic might have been a place where they would go just to get away for a few minutes. Just deeply depressed, and it's like stewing up in that room, up in the purple room.
About an hour after he went to sleep, the security camera in the hallway caught the sound of the piano playing in the music room downstairs.
So you want the full, what I usually do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the building, it was built in 1893. If you look in the front, since you guys are so close to the hallway, you can actually see the transom window above
Yeah.
the
Oh,
front
yep,
door
yep,
says 1893.
Mhm.
It was built by Abraham Kaufman, and he actually did build a few other homes here in town. I don't know exactly all of them that he built, but I do know this one, and if you go down this main road, right past the brick buildings that you see, like the town, the whole town here on the street, right past those, if you look on your right whenever you're leaving, there's a big 2-story house that's had some additions built on. He also built that home.
Oh, okay.
And there's one I know somewhere between here and there that he built, but I'm not 100% sure which one it was. So when he built it, Newton Rhodes bought it, and he bought it for his wife Clara to actually operate as a hotel.
That explains why it feels more like a
Yeah.
hotel than an actual.
Yeah.
And I was trying to figure out, because down here, it feels like a family could live down here.
Yeah.
But you go upstairs and it doesn't give you that, this is the kids' room, this is the kids' room, you know, except for those 2 rooms right there at the end, which I sort of could see doing that.
Yeah.
But the rest of the rooms are like pods.
Yeah. Yeah. Their own little entities. And back then, those 2 bathrooms would have been bedrooms.
Yeah.
So, because they would have had their chamber pots. You
Yeah.
guys may have noticed one sitting up there. A lot of people are like, what is this thing? The little, like, wood cabinet. So yeah, they did have 2 kids whenever they were living here and operating it as a hotel. Their names were Hazel and Everett.
Didn't we get an E last night?
We got,
We got Everett.
There's an E name, Everett, Evan, something like that, which was described.
I wrote down Everett on my paper. If you look on my paper, out of all the names, she was going through the E's. I thought Everett
This
was,
one I think is Ben's.
yeah,
So
probably.
funny, at the school I work at, we have both a Hazel and an Everett. Yeah.
We've never.
It's like page.
Everett, right there.
Oh my God, I love it. I love seeing that.
Yeah. There's one point.
It's like you guys come in and they want everything after.
Even if I get one thing right, I'm excited.
Yeah, and there's more to that, which I'll get to. More to Everett.
Okay.
So I'm curious to see if you guys got anything on that too. But so Newton wasn't here a whole lot. He was a traveling salesman. I've heard varying stories. Some people say that he did like shoe sales. Others that it had something to do with real estate. So I just know that he was gone a lot. So Clara was here a lot, operating the hotel by herself. Now, what I usually do on this, if you guys do care to get up and take a look. All right. So I'm going to point out a picture. And I also want to know name-wise. There's a lot of names.
I didn't even notice it last night.
So we actually, Everett is actually here in this photo. So we have Newton and Clara, and they are right here. We do have reports sometimes of people seeing Clara in the hotel. And so that's her. If anybody got any hits on that. So then on the steps, we've got some other people here. We actually, if you notice, Flossie Rhodes, her last name was Walton. So you have the Asher Walton house that's right down the road.
Oh.
And then there's Everett and an unknown boy. So we don't know. This picture, I'm not 100% sure what year
I
this
wonder
is.
if that's the boy I was talking to. I think his name is Larry or Lawrence.
Larry.
Okay, yeah, so and unfortunately we don't have that name. And so I'm wondering at this point, because of, we don't have a year on this, if this is actually Everett. And if so, that's interesting because I'll let you guys know what happened to Everett in a little bit. But there are some people here from the Asher Walton family. It does mention, that they're just down the street. So, oh wait, it says this was taken in 1905. This would actually make sense with Everett being in this photo.
Very cool. No, I didn't even, all night long, I did not see that picture at all.
Oh yeah.
I never even, I
Yeah.
mean,
I didn't, it was, we kept it so dark, like in most of the house that I didn't even pay attention to like what was on the walls necessarily.
I was painting on that one and that one
Yeah.
last
What I did
night.
see last night when I was going upstairs to go to bed was a full mist apparition come from this room and go that way.
Really? Okay. I'll tell you guys, in just a minute, where we go.
Sorry,
So-
I'm just letting you know what I.
No, I'm glad you said that because it reminded me, because it kind of goes with what's actually been caught on camera.
Okay.
So these two rooms, these two parlor rooms would have been a library and a music room. I don't know which was which. Unfortunately, I can't find any history about that. If I had to guess, I would say
Say
this was the library.
Yeah, just because it's like a reading.
The
that,
library,
yeah.
I know, I would sit right here and read all day long.
That kind of gives
This
off
would be
music
my
room
spot.
vibes over there.
It does, and that's kind of, we actually moved the piano to that room from the other parlor because we were like, this feels more like where it should be. I mean, old Victorian homes, this would have been like a viewing area.
Okay, this is an area. I just, like, I sort of viewing area in this type of thing.
Exactly, and that's why I was like, I'm not gonna say anything. But they also had Clara's funeral here as well. She died in 1941. I usually have a cheat sheet with me, so I don't tell you wrong on the dates, but 1941, I believe, is when she passed. She did pass here as well. And then Hazel, who was the daughter, she passed in 1968. I don't have information on where she passed or if they had her funeral here or not. I do know that after she passed, they pulled everything out of the hotel and they auctioned it.
There's stuff in the floorboards. Because I got that several times.
And that's funny that you say that because one of the previous owners of the place, if you notice under some of the rugs upstairs, they have taken the floorboards up and had to be replaced because they were searching for something.
Gold, money, because people did these banks a lot back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if it's hiding out up there, I hope I find it. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's walk around through this way. So this place would have been pretty active back in the day. Like I touched on last night, the natural gas boom was going on around the time that this place was built. And so, the hotel would have been pretty packed. And as kind of along those lines, the check-in desk, we've added this here just because we kind of felt like this would be an appropriate place.
Oh, absolutely.
You come in the front door and it's like right here. We don't know that this is the check-in.
But it makes
area.
sense.
It makes
It does.
sense. It
Because
does.
there really isn't room for it out there.
Right. So this would have been what I'm assuming is the music room. Because I do believe that was the library at one point. Pianos in here. Nothing in here is original. But this brings me to the story that I want to tell you about. And I actually have a video on my phone. I should have brought my computer over so it would have been easier for you guys to see. But we had a group in here one night. I think they're still together. They are the Ghost Sisters. And they...
Yeah, Ghost
That
Sisters.
sounds
Yeah.
really familiar.
Yeah, they're still together. They do a lot of stuff in Canada and stuff like that too.
Oh, okay. So, let me pause that. So, just to give you a little background, they put a camera on the kitchen table and they were filming through this way. So in the video, you're going to see that big table all the way through and you're going to see this window in it. You were talking about someone walking out into the hallway.
Yeah.
In the video, I'll show you, you'll be able to see it, but it very much looks like someone walks in like this. You can see them block the window. You can see them turn. You can actually see their legs under the table, and then they walk right back out.
Well, I had a camera about right where that hutch is. That's sitting on the floor, facing this way.
Okay.
So we'll see,
Yeah.
because it was on the floor, maybe we get some feet moving.
So if you guys want to see it. Well, wait, let's turn around this way so the lights won't be. Oh, yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so
It's like a white mist almost, right?
yeah, and at first, like whenever I first watched it, sorry, no funny. can see it walking.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, and that's why I said I wish I had my computer.
You
So.
can actually see it's dark here, but when it crosses through here, it actually turns like a
Yeah,
lighter
in front
color.
of that wall, which would have been like right over here.
Wow.
Holy smokes, that's
That's crazy.
great evidence.
Yeah.
When I first saw it, I was like, what? And they did try to.
Well, I remember that, like I said, that crossed right through there. There's almost like a
I thought it was
threshold.
somebody outside at first because I was like, oh, they're blocking the light, but then you can very clearly see it walk right back out.
Yep.
And if I had a bigger
Wow.
screen to kind of show it, you could see their feet down here under the table.
That's
One
wild.
more time.
Wow.
Wow.
Can I get that? Is it alright if I get that for the camera?
If you post anything,
Wow.
be sure to give them credit.
Okay, yeah. This is from the Ghost Sisters.
I see people are leaving
Wow.
armatite near the windows.
How are they?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I noticed those a couple weeks ago.
That's for protections, you know.
So, I feel like there was something else I was going to tell you about the video. Oh, yes. So the group at the time, just to give you a little bit more context, because I know I'm always, whenever I see something, I'm like, yeah, but I have questions. So there was no one down here when that happened. Their group was all upstairs.
Oh.
When they came down and they realized that had happened, they actually tested it out. And I do have that video, but I don't have it on my phone, unfortunately. But they did test it out and had someone walk the same path and go back out. Very clearly, totally different from the cat.
By the way, there's stories about the cats I got last night.
I was wondering about that because, yeah, we've not only found one in the attic here, but that is a
Oh.
very, very common thing. We get a lot, and a lot of people in here that will feel them brushed against your leg. I felt it
I
myself.
felt one last night.
Yeah.
I was wondering, I was sitting at the table, I was like, oh, it just feels like something's up against my ankle, sort of thing.
I was thinking probably like a living room or something like that. And I was standing against the wall right there, and the shadow was actually lower, shorter than that was.
Oh, yeah.
It's that, the light's not coming through like this, it's coming through it like this.
Yeah. So
It'd be the same side.
yeah. Okay. So I believe when the place was first built, this was the game room.
Oh,
So probably the guys hanging out in here, playing their games.
sort of like a gentleman's like cigar type thing, okay.
And we also have, so I put a deck of cards in here because a lot of people get a lot of activity if they sit down and play cards.
That's why the money, I put like the fake money
Mm-hmm.
on the table right there.
Yeah.
And we thought maybe that when it was the house of repute, that the girls would come downstairs, come in here, parade around. I felt like somebody sat in my lap, but the money never moved, but
Yeah. I haven't heard a whole lot of stories, like brothel era stories about room 3.
right.
We typically get that more with room 1. Because it's believed, and I like to say allegedly and believed because I don't have stories to back this stuff up, and I don't want to lie to anybody. But Sarah is supposedly, I don't know, she would have been like the head mistress, or just maybe one of the girls here at the time. But supposedly room 1 was her room, and that's where a lot of people will put money on the bed. They'll feel somebody sit on the bed with them, things like that. So we get a lot of activity in that room. You occasionally hear it in a few other rooms upstairs, but I haven't heard it in room 3. And we've had groups do that before.
Yeah.
And you were asking if we ever catch stuff on the cameras. We catch conversations on the cameras.
I heard conversations last night when we were down the.
Could you understand what was being said? Because we can never understand
No,
what's being said.
you could tell it was conversation, but that's about it.
Yeah, it's almost like a mumble.
Uh-huh.
But you can clearly, excuse me, you can clearly tell that there's like at least 2 people
Yeah.
having a conversation, and it comes through even on the cameras, and then you can't really tell what they're saying.
Remember you guys got Wicker last night?
Oh, Wicker? Yeah. Oh,
Oh yeah, yeah.
that was while I was crying. It was like, Wicker. And it was the most just a passing, cool, what about Wicker? And they're like,
Well, and one of the little rocking chairs, like the little kid size ones.
Yeah.
One of those I think is for your kids.
Maybe we're supposed to go with that.
Yeah. So, also, I have no idea, that's been here forever. This is gonna be replaced. If I can ever find one that I like enough.
I did have a camera in there facing out the hall into this room.
Okay. We get a lot, so like this light has actually come on by itself before several times. The volunteer that I have here, Gina, she actually was here with her mom, and they were cleaning and just kind of hanging out and stuff, and that light came on, and then right back off. Just like, hey, we're here, and then right back off.
Gas heat,
Mm-hmm.
and that floorboard's been full.
Yeah. In the kids' room, so if you, I can't remember.
Track seems real cheap now.
Yeah. Let's see, so I don't have a whole lot of stuff that's like really gone crazy in here. I will tell you this is the room that my parents like to stay in. It's right across the hall. This is where she ran.
Yeah.
My mom ran.
Well, I mean, in the middle of the night, I was like, I can't deal with anybody else telling me anything, so I'm just looking straight across and I'm going.
Yeah.
And I'm not looking down the hall.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can.
And you just feel like constant flow.
Yeah.
Jen was scared last night because she kept hearing what
Yeah.
sounded like people walking, you said? Do you realize?
I mean, nobody can sneak by up here. Like, you know it, ghost or
Yeah.
not. Like, you can hear the footsteps. You stayed in this room, right?
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
You did? You
Okay.
guys
Me
did?
and Ben, yeah.
Oh, you ended
we
up saying that, okay.
Okay, so this room, I was gonna tell you about Everett. Everett was actually quarantined in this room.
Oh, wow.
And died in this room with tuberculosis.
We had a lot of tuberculosis talk last night, didn't we?
He was channeling somebody and started coughing and said tuberculosis.
Yeah, I know you guys kind of touched on it a little bit while I was still in here. It's so hard to not say anything. But yeah, this was his room.
Okay.
And my favorite experience I've had in this entire hotel in all the years I've been coming here was in this room. And it was right after we came up here to start working. We actually had 2 beds in here at the time. So we had this one, and it was turned this way. And then we had another one over here, and it was turned the same way. So there's a space between, and then all this space here was open. And I was sleeping in this one. It was super cold, so that's why we were all like trying to stay in the same room. So my parents were in this bed. I was in that one. And sometime in the middle of the night, I want to say it was about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, I heard something and it woke me up. And I realized that it was footsteps. And it was almost like work boots, kind of, like real heavy.
Yeah.
And it was just like walking a path around like between the beds.
Wow.
And here. And my head was at this end, so I was like, facing that way. So, and we had the door shut, and I was like, okay, one of my parents has gotten up to go to the bathroom, something.
Yeah.
And so I kind of look over, and they're both out. They're not moving, like no movement whatsoever, and the footsteps are still going on, slowly and very clearly around my bed. And I was like, huh. Okay. And after a few minutes, I was just like, well, not a few minutes. It would have been probably about a minute. I checked my camera, or my phone, because we had a camera in the hallway. And I thought maybe the sound is carrying a bit, and maybe it's Robin. Because Robin was staying all the way in the front in room 8. No movement on the camera. He wasn't up. So at that point, I was just like, I'm really tired. Can I go back to sleep now? And it stopped. But now this part, I will say, I don't know about this part. Part of me is like, I kind of feel like it was something, but I have moved around some, and so I don't know if it's legit or not. But after I got settled in, I was laying there and just kind of like thinking about what had just happened, and it felt like someone brushed my hair off my forehead. And I was like, did that just happen, or did it just shift? You know, because like my hair wasn't long at the time, it was pretty short. So I was like,
Right.
I don't know. So I don't know if that was something legitimate that happened, or if it was just like one of those things. But I was already worked up overhearing the footsteps. And they were sitting in here and someone had dowsing rods. And they were just asking questions and, if it crossed free asked, so it was just straight for no. And my mom came in here at the time and she was like, were you the one that walked around that, Crystal heard? Immediately crossed. And then after a few minutes, she, they were kind of sitting there and they straightened back out. She's like, was it you, Everett? And it crossed again. And so I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.